Hi there, folks. It's Damien from Heroes of the Shire and from Senior Games. Um, Today, we're going to do a quick video on the setup of our scenario mode because when you load up the Tabletop Simulator mod for scenario mode, not the arena mode, it looks quite overwhelming. You can see it on screen now. There's an awful lot of stuff going on, but in reality, it's really simple when you know how. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fast track that for you now to save you guys the hassle of spending sort of an hour or two reading through the rule book and learning the game. So first thing we're going to do is, I guess I'll just give you a quick tour around the mod. So we've got the villain player down here with the Berserker playmat. We just chose that because it's the red playmat, sort of red for enemy, red for anger. And then we've got the lighter playmat, which is the Huntress, and we've set that up for the five heroes. So it is a 1 to 6 player game. Unfortunately, this mod doesn't have the solo mode add-on. So if you do want to play the solo mode, it will just be the solo mode that comes out of the box. For the add-on, we're working on updating our solo mode TTS mod for scenario mode. So that will include that as well. We've got all the heroes over here. You can see we've got the full 20 selection. We've actually got 21 because a little snippet of the Kickstarter exclusive, but as you can see, she doesn't have her bag. So unfortunately, you can't play with her because we are trying to stay true to our Kickstarter backers with that exclusivity. It's just sort of there to show people. And then we've got here, coming in 2024 in our first expansion, Light and Shadow, 6 new heroes. I'm more than happy to talk about some of these over the coming months, but for now, we're going to keep it on the lowdown. We did talk about, though, the Mercenary and the Gypsy last year at the UK Games Expo. So anyone would like to learn a little bit more about those two, check out our Instagram. You might have to go back a couple of posts, but you'll find it on there. We've got all the components for the scenario in the middle. We've got the building area here. Instead of putting all the tokens in a bag, we've just got them all out so you guys can familiarise yourself with the buffs and the conditions. Okay, all the heroes have got a little save game sheet, although I just thought I'd put it there so you can familiarise yourself with the save game. Although when you're playing it digitally, you don't need it because you can just save the TTS mod. And we've given everyone a little notepad in case you want to take any notes for your save. Okay, I'm just going to jump into the rule book. Then I've got my trusty real version here. But we're doing it digitally because it's so much easier to pan the camera around. Whereas if I'm trying to set up this and trying to record it all, how doing it professionally in a studio with big cameras, especially for a 6-player game, I'm just moving the camera around all the time. So I just find it's a little bit easier digitally to make the tutorial video. So to set up the scenario then, what we're going to look at here, so let me alt. There you go. The scenario setup. So the first thing we're going to do here at number 1 is select a villain player. Okay, so amongst the group, you select the villain player. Number 2, the non-villain players all then select a hero to play. So let's grab warrior over here. So this player is going to be the warrior. Oh, no. So you're going to take that bag, and then the next player will be the dragon knight, and we'll take that bag over there. Let's have a quick look what components we've got in the bag then. So we've got the standee, let's get that out. We've got the hero board, we've got the quick reference sheet, we've got the spell mastery, and we've got 3 hero ability cards, and then we've got the little turn order token. Okay, Dragon Knight, oh no, that's the wrong bag, that's the dice bag. So the Dragon Knight bag over here. Same again, standee, reference sheet, spell mastery, hero board. Popping those out. We've got these tokens, cards, turn order. So that's step 2 done. Then we've got step 3, select a party leader, and that player takes the backpack token. So let's go with the warrior. He can be the party leader. So you're going to grab this backpack token here, which is next to the wandering merchant. And the warrior is going to take the backpack token. Then we're going to jump into step 4. So each player is going to take 2 quest cards. You're only allowed to keep the 1. The other one gets discarded. Just give them a little shuffle. So the warrior's going to take 2. And the Dragon Knight is going to take 2. Let's have a quick look at these quest cards. I'm just going to quickly not take up your time. You can pause the video and look at the cards if you like, or obviously you can look at the mod. But the objective of this one is to defeat 8 giant octopi in the water scenario. And this one is objective to defeat 8 burning raptors. So they're kind of like old school MMORPG quests to kill X amount of monsters. Funnily enough, I mean, there's one for each scenario. We've got the Earth one here as well, and then we've got one here trying to find a jug of ale. So let's just say we'll keep the jug of ale. We'll discard that one, and we will keep the water one, and we'll discard the fire one. So they will get put back into the deck. Okay, so that's the quest done. Where are we? That's step 4. And we get the quest before we select a scenario to play, because the quests will help us determine what scenario we want to play. So I believe the warrior's quest was to find a jug of ale. You can find that in any scenario. But the Dragon Knight was to defeat 8 giant octopuses. So that's water scenario. So based on that, then we will go down the water scenario. So we're going to select the scenario to pick. Was that what it? Next thing to do? Yes, select the scenario. Then the next step is to find all the relevant components, the trash mob cards, the boss boards, all that stuff. We've kindly put it all in a nice little blue bag for you for the water scenario. And then just moving on to step 7 would be then to lay out all the scenario hexes. So I'm going to come down to the scenario selection. We're going to pick the water scenario. I'm just going to take it over here to the scenario build area. I'm just going to take the bags out one at a time. The first boss, the third boss, and the second boss. The bosses, I'm going to go ahead and pop them on the villain player's board. Got the action cards, so I'm going to go and pop those over here. And the little action cards. I've got the trash mobs, trash mob components, and the water scenario hexes, and the boss die. So there's no fancy way of doing it. I thought I'd keep it traditional, and when I say traditional, what I mean is dragging all the hexes out one at a time, because when you're playing the game, this is how it's going to be. You're going to have to build your scenario one hex at a time. So I'm just taking them all around the outside, because this is the second video I've recorded. My first one was a bit of a failure, and I put all the components in the middle. It was hard work trying to find them all. There we go. So how do we lay out the scenario then? We're going to go check the rule book, I think page 24, 25. So quick look, 24. No, it must be 25. It's 24, 25 then, sorry. So this is the fire and ice scenarios. We're going to be building the water scenario. So you guys would come and have a quick look here. Starts with number 1, and then it goes 2, 3, 4, 5 in these like little almost like forward arrow motions. I'm just remembering how to build it myself. There, and there. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to go hex 1 here. Where did I put 2, 3? There's 3, 4, 5. Where did I go put 2? 2, 3, 4. Like that, I believe. 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to need 6, 7. Is it 8, 9? There's number 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just double check. Oh no, I went too far on that one. So that just goes to 8. And then we're going to have 9 up here. 10, 11. If you guys obviously want to go ahead and fast forward 2 minutes, you're more than welcome to. I'm just going to continue building up this scenario. I'm going to need 15 down here. And then I'm going to need 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. You guys are welcome to take a little bit extra care than I am. I'm just trying to rush through this a little bit for the sake of the tutorial. Okay, I'm just going to grab all my components. A little bit of OCD, I'm just going to centralize them all. One thing we should also do as well is rotate this. How it doesn't work because of the way the rotations work in TTS. So it works fine on the ice scenario, and then it's funny on the other two. So you'd usually rotate this way to the, obviously, to the water scenario there, and I'm pretty sure it only works on inclination rotations of 50, or maybe it will. Let's have a look, see if the 15 degrees will. See if we can get to the water scenario at the top. Is it Q&A, is it? No, that'll do us. That'll do us. We're almost there. Okay. So let's go to the back page of the rulebook again. Where are we? Number 7, lay out the scenario hexes. Yep. And then number 8 is place all the boss standees on the required hexes. And then number 9 is lay out the rest of the scenario components nearby. So I've already done number 9. 8 is put all the boss standees where they need to be. And for those of you that aren't familiar, sorry, I shouldn't have jumped off that. Is it page 25? No, page 26. It shows us here. So the one of the bosses is going to go on 2, 8, and 20. Let's pop that back on the back page. So I take the standees out of these boss bags. And let's go ahead and put them in their right location. And it will tell you on page 25 of that book, or 26 in the rulebook, sorry, which bosses go exactly where. Obviously, I just know. And then we've got these little black marks here across the bottom right-hand corner of the standees. You see this is the first boss. This is the second boss. And up here is the third and the final boss. Our scenarios are non-linear, so you can go straight to the final boss if you like. You can just explore 1, 2, 3, straight to the final boss. Nothing stopping you. In theory, though, you'll probably get annihilated quite quickly because the scenarios are progressive. So we do recommend going 1, 2, or 3, unless you're a little bit more familiar with the game, or you're taking a previously saved game scenario character who might not be at level 1. Okay, so that was, what was that at? That was 8 and 9 complete. Then we go to step 10, which is set up the Wandering Merchant shop by placing 8 loot items underneath his card. So I'm going to go find the loot item deck, give that a little shuffle, take 6 cards out, and that will form the Wandering Merchant shop. I'm going to place those 6 cards underneath the merchant. That is step 10 done. Number 11, each non-villain player should take, so basically the heroes should take a black dice bag and set up with their chosen spell mastery. So what we've gone and done is placed dice bags already on the hero boards, not on the hero boards, on the playmats here. So this is telling us to take out the, basically emptying the components of these bags. This is much easier in real life. You can just tip it on the board, drag all the dice to one corner. Got a little shield token. Oh, let's get that back to 90 degrees. There we go. So we've got a little shield token. We've got the power cubes. I just noticed that this has only got 5 power cubes. There should be 13. I'll amend that after I've published this video. So there will be 13. And what that's to do with is because I copy and pasted these bags from the scenario, from the arena mode. And in arena mode, you only have 5 power cubes. In the scenario mode, obviously, we're working our way up to that maximum level of 12. So I'm going to set the board up. So I've set my character to 45 HP because that's the stat that we're shown here. We're going to start at level 1. And at level 1, we're able to take a +1 buff and place it on one of our stats. I'm going to place it on strength, and it would go on the level tab here, or the level row, should I say, here. I'm going to place it on the defense here for the Dragon Knight. I'll have to double check the snapping just to make sure. Oh, I know why. It's because these boards, again, everything was copy and pasted from the arena mode, so we haven't got any snap points on here on the levels. So again, before the video, after I publish the video, I'll go ahead and fix some of those snap points to make sure that you can drag these into the correct places. So let's go and pop it on defense. We'll take one of the power cubes. Because we're level 1, we've got the stat, and we're also able to unlock a new spell or ability. So let's pop it on keep moving. We would go ahead and do exactly the same on the Dragon Knight, but I won't keep you guys, so I want to finish this setup. So the Dragon Knight player will do exactly the same as what we've done here, taking everything out of these dice bags so there's nothing left. There we go, so that's step 11 done. Step 12 is to spend the power cube and place the +1. So excuse me, I jumped the gun there and did both step 11 and 12 together. And then step 13 is find the chosen hero standees and place them on the Shire hex. So I'm going to take my warrior, place them on the Shire hex, and the Dragon Knight. They're ready to begin their adventure. Where are we? We're almost there, guys. Then we place the turn order tokens on the turn order card. Turn order cards are next to the villain player. So then what we're going to do is take these little turn order tokens, and we're going to go ahead and place them on the turn order card. I'm not just making this up randomly. The turn order is always based on which character, which hero, should I say, has the highest agility stat. So if we tune in here, you can see that the agility value of the Dragon Knight, these are all abbreviations for strength, intellect, agility, defense, and health points. So you can see that this agility value of the Dragon Knight is 6. Meanwhile, over here, we've got 5 on the warrior. So unless the warrior can buff his agility stats, temporary or positive, temporary or permanently, of which he can do, at the beginning of the battle, it will always start with Dragon Knight into warrior. So that was step, where are we? That was step 14 complete. Number 15 is the villain player would take their red dice bag and place it near them. We've already done that on the setup. It's their little brown bag there. I guess I'll color code that red. And then that's it, we're finished. Exploration begins. So what we've gone and done is placed a little scenario reminder text here for you guys, just to remind you what happens as you're moving through the scenario, but it's nice and simple. The first thing you do is explore a hex. So you flip the hex over. We'd move our standees here. And before we're able to decide where we want to go, if we want to go north over into the grasslands here, or if we want to go across in the water terrain over here, or mainland over here, so we have to take one of the exploration cards from the exploration deck. The deck is the 26 cards here. We do have 4 extra cards off to the side, and they're labeled 27 to 30. And you can see that they've got the numbers on them. And these cards will get shuffled into the deck should any action cards instruct the player to do so. So if I just go ahead and take one of these explorations, give the deck a shuffle, I'll take an exploration card, flip it over, and this one has gone and told me to summon 3 trash mobs to battle. So what we do here then is we take out the trash mob deck. Don't need that bag anymore. And it told us to take 3, so we give that deck a shuffle. I would go 1, 2, 3. I'd flip those over, see what we've got summoned. We've got an elite coastal terrapin, we've got an elite giant octopus, and we also have a water monkey. And I'm going to rearrange them from left to right of fastest agility first. So agility value of snapper is 5, agility value of liquid is 6, and agility value of the monkey is actually 4 as well. So I'm going to go ahead and rearrange those. 6, 5, and 4. This would mean battle would commence. So then we would go ahead, find the components, which are all in here. I would go ahead, find the turn order. We would work out who goes where in the turn order. We'd place them on here. Let's just say it looks something like this. And then battle would commence. You'd go through the phases of battle. If you're not familiar with those, again, feel free to have a quick look at the back of the rulebook. Sorry, I keep accidentally pressing the middle button on my scroll wheel, and it keeps snapping the camera back out. So, and you can see the upkeep phases of combat there. Okay. And then we can see here, so that would be the exploration. You then got to take the exploration card and resolve it, and then you rinse and repeat. So if we would go ahead and let's say we go ahead battle these, if we defeat them, we would take our loot items after we defeated the enemy monsters, and then that means we would have resolved the exploration card, which will allow us to then continue exploring. So if I want to go across into the water over here, no, there's still a little bit of mainland actually. Take our little heroes, and we're going to be traveling over into this terrain here, and that would force us then to take another exploration card. And again, we've summoned another 3 trash mobs to battle. We would go ahead and do that, and once that's resolved, it will allow us to continue exploring. Okay, don't forget guys, there's one little token here, and this just reminds us what scenario difficulty that we're on. So in my hypothetical example here, we should have, because I've only set up 2 heroes, the warrior and the dragon knight, we should have our scenario on easy mode. And what this reminds us here with this little hexagonal and a little number 6 is once we have explored 6 hexes here, that we should take one of the trash mob cards out of the deck. Sorry, let's pop them all back in. What we would go ahead there to do, shuffle that deck, is we'd keep revealing cards until we reveal the next non-elite monster, which is not that one, that's an elite monster. Is the water monkey here, and then we would simply delete them or take them out of the deck. So now that the deck consists of 15 trash mob cards instead of the total 16, and that reduces the chances of you bumping into a non-elite monster. So that just makes the scenario, helps make the scenario a little bit more progressive, as your heroes start to level up and progress through their adventure. This is the water scenario, that they're bumping into the more elite monsters by just based on statistics. We're removing the non-elite monsters as we progress through the scenario. Okay, and that's what that little reminder is here for. So you can see when you're on ultimate mode or hard mode, it's every 3 or 4 hexes that we would explore, we would remove them a little bit faster. Okay, and there you have it in a nutshell, guys. That is a quick setup tutorial explaining how you guys would go about starting or jumping into our TTS mod for scenario mode. So we hope you guys thoroughly enjoy it. Any questions, feel free to ping us an email. The email address we do have on our Kickstarter page somewhere. Alternatively, ping us a message on Kickstarter if you are a backer. Or the best way to get in touch with us really is via our Discord chat. We're quite active there, and it's not just myself that's active there. We've got a lot of really good community members that know how to play the game almost as much as we do. So your best bet is to drop a message in there, and if we're not around immediately to respond, I'm sure one of the community members will be there happy to help. So yeah, that'd be the best way to stay in touch with us. If you do enjoy the mod, if you do find it's quite useful, please just recommend it to your friends, share it on social medias, It's the best marketing tool for us guys is word of mouth. If you like it, and your friends will naturally trust you a little bit better than our Facebook ads. uh, uh, that's it. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you have a wonderful day, and we hope you continue to enjoy our mod. And we've now opened it up to scenario mode, so you're not just stuck with the arena mode. Damien, over and out.